We are live.
We're live! Hello everyone, this is Judy.
Hi there, community. I'm Iggy with Living at Home.
Yes, and this is Cacao and Conscious Conversations.
And
Cacao!
cheers with our fairy unicorn Tenmoku cups.
So these are these beautiful handmade cups that are, it's an ancient Japanese firing method right now, and so we are celebrating this Pleaides gateway.
Cheers!
Woo!
Yeah!
Oh yeah, we're celebrating. Oh my gosh,
How did I end up with the wings?
Oh my god, I want the wings back. Give me the wings back. There we go. So so we're drinking our cacao and having so much fun today. So we are, it is a lunar eclipse going on today.
The longest lunar eclipse ever.
Oh my gosh, in like 500 and something years, I don't even know. and also this Pleaides gateway is open, right?
Yay!
So this is where the star system of Pleaides and the sun and the earth are in alignment. And I want to tell you guys, like yesterday, in meditation, my Pleaidian star family came to me, and it was just so beautiful. I mean, it was so fun because they came into my energy field, and I felt them like cheering, like "Woo, go!" kind of like that is what it felt like, and it totally felt like a party, like in my body. Like I felt like we were in this celebration. And so I'm like, oh my God, yes.
That's awesome.
We're in a party. We're partying all weekend. So Iggy and I are communing with our star family and with our soul sister, Z, who is transmitting these
Who has joined?
beautiful
Hello, Z.
codes.
Thank you for sharing your magic.
Yes, and she's sharing her actually awakening wisdom, that we already know within us, and then helping us heal a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm so thankful and grateful.
So grateful.
Oh my God, so grateful.
Thank you.
Everybody go follow her, okay? go follow Z, Earth Star Academy. Yeah, go follow her. Anyways, we wanted to talk about what we're doing and the importance of understanding cosmic alignments and healing yourself at this moment in time during this ascension journey on Earth.
Yes.
Right?
So that is a topic of today's conversation in a series of conscious conversations with Cacao. We love our ceremonial cacao. It's such a powerful heart opener.
Especially in this.
An
look
activator.
Look at my fairy cup. Isn't
Goes
it
with your wings.
beautiful? Yeah, I have fairy wings, so I was like, we got to use the fairy tenmokus because I got the fairy wings going on Instagram. You can't see it on Facebook, but on Instagram, I got my fairy wings. Oh yeah.
All right. So why is it important to heal our stuff right now? Well, as you know, we are going through this powerful activation portal, right? And through the activating our DNA, moving up into higher states of vibration. This is what's going on around the planet right now. And we simply are not allowed to take lower vibrational contraband into higher dimensions. So our mission control is telling us that all lower vibrational contraband will be confiscated at the border. They will not let us bring any crutches and wheelchairs with us. All of our lower dimensional shit, we gotta heal that. We gotta heal that stuff now.
Oh my God. Totally.
So there is never better time than now to let that stuff go. I know a lot of us are attached to our lower dimensional bullshit, as they say, it may be Auschwitz, but it feels like home. No, we gotta let go of that, okay?
And so, I mean, Iggy and I, we do have, part of our mission is to help people heal with the sacred plants of this earth. And because the sacred plants really do help people let go of a lot of different things and open up to their multi-dimensionality too. I mean, for us, it's done that for us.
For
It's
sure.
done that for us. And so we know that the sacred plants do that. I mean, just even like the sacred plant of cacao. Cacao is a super beautiful plant that helps you open up your heart. And so we wish the whole damn world would drink cacao because it would change everything on the planet. So if everybody did one ayahuasca ceremony, woo! Can you
And politicians, at least 10. Anybody who's sitting in a public office would be required at least 10 or dozens ayahuasca ceremonies because one wouldn't quite cut it, The ego is still prominent after one. You need to go through few.
Oh my God, totally. But you know what? But not with just anybody. Like the elites have to do it with a galactic shaman. They can't do it with anybody
Somebody
else.
who really kicks their ass.
Yeah. Someone
And
who's
calls them with their bullshit.
Yeah, somebody who's gonna bring the cosmic energy, into the ceremony and just like, bam, we're gonna change
I need
all.
a refill already.
Whoa, we're gonna change all the reversals, your antichrist reversals inside of your body and get you back to your original divine blueprint. So anyways, we're just having so much fun, with this, and we want to just express how much humanity right now needs to go through this clearing process, clearing and healing process right
Letting
now.
go.
Yeah, and
releasing.
And so this time frame that we've been in for the last year and a half, people have not gone to work, they've stayed home, they couldn't go to work. So there's a lot of downtime, time to yourself, time not being with other people or whatever. And so there's so much reflection time, right? A lot of reflection time going on. And I totally believe that was designed too so that people could go within. A lot of people started gardens and stuff, right?
It was really an opportunity to spend more time with your significant other, with your children.
With self.
With self, particularly with self.
Yeah.
Right? If you took that to heart and if you took that opportunity to really focus on yourself and work on yourself. Not everybody chooses to do that, and that's okay. We honor every soul's journey wherever they're at. We have compassion for all souls, and this is important to understand too, because when we start judging others, that means there is something really unhealed within us, right? Judgment is a projection. It's a projection, something I don't like about myself onto you or anybody else. And so anytime when I catch myself having judgmental thoughts of somebody, and it could be anything. It could be a subtle thing. It could be something seemingly innocuous, like look at what that person is wearing, and that could be judgment, right? That means that there is something within me that I'm not comfortable with, right? And I'm projecting it on somebody else. And so we do ourselves disservice if we ignore that, if we don't heal that, if we don't focus on that and releasing that. Because when you're completely unfuckwittable, if you're completely healed with everything, then no matter what anybody else does or says or how they're acting, it's not going to trigger you. It's not going to impact you because you are fully embracing your sovereignty and power, and nobody's going to knock you off your unicorn, right?
So, I mean, for the masses, we just want to go sort of just bring an awareness right now that those things inside that you're holding on to, those pains and those traumas, and even some things you don't even know where the heck it's coming from, right? It could be coming from the collective. It could be your past timelines. Who knows? Whatever the thing, is inside that is not not, aligning you to your true authentic self. Like those things you cannot have as we move into new earth frequencies, is when we start to move into unity consciousness, love consciousness, the oneness, right? So we can't have any of those distortions, within us. It goes like way deep, you guys. We're not going to go into the deepness, of it, but we just want people to be aware of all of those misalignments that are going on inside of you. Okay, so a lot of people are aware of the this lifetime stuff that is causing, pain and trauma and wounding and separation consciousness and like the rejection, the abandonment, all of those things right now. If you're holding on to anger, holding on to grief, holding on to things like that, really, this is like such an opportune time right now to really let those things go before next year, before the 12/21 portal, before the winter solstice. It's really good to just start to focus on finding ways to heal, finding ways to release those things so that you can actually take in more light, because that's what happens during this ascension process. This ascension process is yourself, your being, your body, taking in more light. So it's more light accretion that is happening so that we can move up into higher dimensional frequencies.
And accretion just means the ability to hold more light.
Right.
That's what that term means. Mm-hmm. Some people may not be familiar with that.
Mm-hmm. and so this is the process that we're going through. So it's, it takes a lot of work as a human to really release the slave codes that you have going on, right? We're made up of codes. And so it's like releasing all of these things inside that are, energetic attachments to you, things that you have created yourself that cause things, and then even like outside external beings that put things in your energy
In other words,
field.
hijacking.
Yeah, the hijacking, yes.
Hijacking of our code.
Yeah.
So there was a basically inverted code that was put in place, or something inorganic for various reasons that do not serve us.
Like entities and implants and all of these devices that they put in us to loosh our energy, meaning like take humanity's like source energy from us. And so there are beings that are doing that, right now. This is why like shit's happening on a planet the way that is. We've been in this system for a long time where they're really hijacking humanity, and this is why only 2 strands of our DNA are activated. And so when you come to this awareness, all we want to do is put forth right now for everyone to be like conscious in this time frame, an opportune time frame to start healing your stuff. Okay, can you speak on what the implants are? There are different kinds of implants. There can be implants that are put on you by the dark ones, I want to say, and then there are implants that you create yourself. So say for instance you have like these thoughts and these feelings of unworthiness, okay, and then that in itself, that feeling of unworthiness, you actually create like a implant or like an energy field inside of you.
So you can think of it as an energetic device, in other words. So there are implants that can be positive, So we can have forces of light. The forces of light could be placing in certain energetic vortex that is intended and designed to upgrade your energetic body and get it more in alignment with the organic living light. And so that is by design removing some of the negativity or some of the distortions within our energetic body and energetic field. But when we're talking about implants, we're generally talking about the negative implants. These may be devices that may be designed to lose your energy, to basically siphon portion of your energetic power for powering the beings that are lacking connection to the source.
The thing about it is, like, we came into this world with amnesia, not knowing who we are as powerful beings that are connected to source energy, where we are individuations of the creator, and we hold the living light code within us. Okay, and so we have that amnesia, so we forget. Like, we forget how powerful we are, and the dark ones, have created systems and things to mind control people. They put all kinds of shit in our food and the crops, and fluoride in the water, like chemtrails. I mean, just the news is all about mind control, like so many different things, so that humans will not understand who they are, understand their true nature, their true power. Okay, and because we were meant to be here to live in joy. We were meant to be here to fully express our divine blueprint on the planet. Humanity was here to really be the protectors of the Stargate. Okay, we're gonna go deep. like we're like here really on a planetary mission. And so we just want to express that right now it's time to look at the internal things, the shadows, the dark energies within you, and start to address it. Start to do something about it.
Not by ignoring it, not by saying, "Oh, this is not mine," but by owning it and then looking at it honestly and intentionally healing that and releasing it, integrating it within you, because we all have shadow selves. It's part of us. Every human has capacity to commit atrocities, right? But we have free will. What do you choose for yourself, right? Do you choose to become the grandest version of yourself, or do you choose to be controlled by your thoughts, which may not even be your thoughts? Humans have been exploited and manipulated largely because these higher dimensional entities,
the
dark t-shirts, just by the nature of being in higher dimension, they find it very easy to manipulate humanity through by exploiting weaknesses within our mind. And they use our mind and the thoughts that they implant into our mind to try to influence and manipulate us. And this is the important thing to understand, that we are not our thoughts. And then you go like, what do you mean? Like, those thoughts in my head, that's not who I am? Well, if you're able to observe your thoughts, then you are more than those thoughts. You're the observer, the person, the being that is aware of the thoughts. So you are behind the thoughts. You are deeper being. Thoughts are just one aspect of this existence. And so if we understand that we should not take, we shouldn't believe everything we're thinking, because that may not even be ours.
Right.
And there's heavy manipulation going on with our minds. And so that is the reason why it's so important to connect with our hearts.
Yes. Drink cacao. drink cacao. Cacao really does. I swear, you guys, like, cacao is just, oh my gosh, it just blasts your heart open so much. And I don't know if you guys know, but your heart itself has its own toroidal field. Your body has a toroidal field, okay, but your heart has its own toroidal field, and it's so huge and it's so big, and it really is that sacred portal to the divinity that you are here. And so when we can be here more in our heart space, we can have more compassion for ourselves. You know, we can find all the answers there within the space of our heart. We can really find like true connection through the heart, and we can live here more from this loving, joyful place, you know, in our heart through everything that we do. And so with healing, when things come up, because we understand people have a lot of trauma. We understand that people have gone through so many
All
things.
of us have gone through something.
Yeah, I mean,
Every single one of us.
I can say for my own self, there were 2 times in my entire life when I wanted to exit the planet. I was going through a dark night of the soul, and I wanted to just leave. I was just like, this is too much. This pain, this trauma is too much for me. I can't handle it. I have to leave this planet, you know. And the first time was like in my 20s when I lost a child, and I was like, how could God take away my child? You know, I was like in this like angry, you know, I was just so angry. And even though I already had 2 children, I was, that pain that I felt of losing, you know, a child was so deep. But looking back, I saw that was a catalyst to my awakening. It was a time where, like, I was really entrenched in my Catholic life. I grew up Catholic my whole entire life, and then when that happened to me, I was like, screw the church, blah blah blah. I was like really like anti all religion. Like I was like, fuck that shit. You know, I was like totally in this, you know, really a place, that hurt place, and I kind of like blamed religion, you know, for it. And so then what happened to me, for me, in that low place where I wanted to exit the planet, like there's no place I could go but up. And I found, for me, that trauma was a catalyst for me to steer my life into spirituality, not religion. So this is where I started. A friend of mine said, Judy, you have to read this book, Autobiography of a Yogi. So it's about Paramahansa Yogananda. And like when I read that book, I'm like, I never heard of these words, consciousness, super consciousness, and you know, I didn't even know anything about anything, and everything was new. I didn't even know what yoga was, and this was back then when there was like no yoga studios anywhere in my 20s. And this was like a catalyst for me to really learn more about Eastern teachings. I read the Bhagavad Gita. I was like reading books the Dalai Lama wrote, and just other books about consciousness, and it opened up my whole world. But if I hadn't gone through that trauma of losing a child, I wouldn't have gone through this healing path and gone through this path of awakening more of unto myself, of who I am, and understanding myself. And so this was a time frame for me in my 20s where that trauma and that pain, when I started to like heal all of that, I started to heal that pain. It opened me up to start this healing path. So this is when I totally started doing yoga. I started meditating. I like had my first Reiki session. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. You know what? When I did my first yoga class, I was like, I'm teaching yoga. And the next month I did yoga teacher training. When I did my first Reiki class, I was like, I'm doing that. And so then I like went like the first with my Reiki master. I was like, I'm gonna go learn that, like, because it was so profound for me. I got into crystals, I got into feng shui, like all of these things started opening up for me because I lost a child. And so I'm grateful for her blessed soul that came into my body for a short period of time and help me. And that was her mission, right? She's gonna I'm gonna wake my mom up. I'm gonna wake my mom up, and that's what she did. She came into my body for a short amount of time to wake me up. So I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful soul, for coming into my body. And I knew it was a girl. Like I felt so much she was a girl. So thank you. Anyways, woo! All right. I didn't know that was gonna happen. So this is why, like, right now, this is such an opportune time to start looking at those things that are not in alignment with who you really are, all the pain, the trauma, the wounding, and start healing that, transmuting that, finding any and every way right now to heal all of that stuff. So whether that is whether that is through seeing energy healers, it's the sacred plants, whatever way that
emotional
is.
freedom technique, Ho'oponopono,
whatever
methodology you can find.
Resonates
the idea is to quit malarkey of all sorts, okay? It's not serving us any longer, so it's about releasing, letting go. And because all of those things are tethers that tether us to the old reality, to the old way of living. And so, again, that's a contraband that will not be allowed in higher dimensional existence. So that's going to be confiscated, or we're going to be sent back from the border. So I don't want to be sent back. I want to make sure that I get through. So I need to make sure that I don't have any contraband that will be that will be looked down upon.
Yeah, and so this is why, like, Iggy and I, we know that we're here as starseeds. Okay, we know that we came from the stars, that we came from other places, to come here to help with this ascension journey on the planet, with Mother Gaia, the Earth's ascension process, and with humanity's ascension process.
And all of you are masters.
Right.
Because you would not be allowed to incarnate on this freaking dense place, on this prison planet, if you did not already possess all of those qualities and mastery to be able to manage these energies. Energetically, this place is so dense, so difficult to exist in. This is the reason why so many people are suffering from depressions and anxiety and have difficult time existing here, because this place is so dense. But it is truly a school. It's a place for us to strengthen our skill set, right? To truly learn how to manage our energy, particularly when we are in place of amnesia and we're disconnected seemingly from the source and from our higher selves. So yes, you are masters, and we're just here to help you remember that. That's all.
Iggy and I have really made it our mission to help in any way that we can, sharing like the things that we know, sharing information. And we don't just talk about love and light stuff. We don't, because we know that we have to shed light to the darkness, to what has been happening for thousands of years on this planet, where they have been siphoning humanity's energy and have been putting these programs into people, and how the dark ones are taking our power away and not wanting us to understand the living light code, the source within us. And now we see that humanity is starting to rise up in all these different issues. I feel like it's the issues first, right? It's the issues first, like, the issues with the jab, the issues with, all kinds of issues first. And so, but I feel like that's all external. But it's good. It's still good.
Ultimately, all of the external disturbances in a force are reflection of unhealed internal things, right? Because we are co-creators of our reality, and we are helping to co-create this reality, external reality that we're perceiving by our collective energy and focus.
Yes.
And so, that's why there is this like manipulation and mind control and, fear mongering, because that distracts us from our purpose and from focusing on that which we desire for ourselves. So if you focus on something else, guess what? You're helping somebody else building the vision of the world that they desire for themselves, for whatever selfish reasons, right? They may be living by different set of rules because they understand the rules of the game. And if they keep us down, controlling us, if we are not awakened fully, then we help them build the world that they desire for themselves. We can build something completely different.
Each person is sovereign unto themselves. So when you understand that you are a sovereign being here.
That's our God-given right.
Yes, you are sovereign unto yourself. I want you guys to know that you're freaking powerful, and you are here to really express like who you really are.
Unapologetically.
Your full capacity of your heart, and to really fully like live out your soul's desires, and to be the co-creators of this world. And so we're not going to freaking go back to the old ways of doing things. We are here to create. We are now here to create the new earth. We are creating something else.
Something way more beautiful, harmonious, something that has not existed on this planet before.
We are here to create the higher timeline for ourselves. But in order to do that, really the first step is to start with understanding like all of the misalignments within you, understanding the distortions within you, understanding the hijacking that has gone on.
Right, and we are
you.
sharing this negativity and unpleasant things, right? Not because we want to add to the fear mongering. Our desire is to shed light
Awareness.
and bring awareness to the greater truth. This needs to be known by the majority. It needs to be exposed and transmuted, right? Because we are all responsible for taking care of that part within ourselves individually.
And so this really is, for those that are awakened or even semi-awakened, who understands themselves more than the physical body, that you are soul in the body. And so we are here for that, to bring in more of the multidimensional aspects of us into the body. So this is really a soul embodiment experience that we are having here on earth. And the more that we realize that we are soul being here, bringing ourselves in into the body, then when more of your multidimensional aspects start to open, you can start to experience a lot of your gifts that you are meant to have start to open up for you. Okay, so like psychic gifts, you'll start to have telepathy, all of these abilities to see so many things, in your inner vision. You'll be able to even like channel and transmit energies to it, and it's just so beautiful when those things start to happen for you. A lot of people right now, how they classify mental health right now, a lot of people are having these different kinds of experiences, but they feel like they're having like a mental health issue. They feel like
going nuts.
Yeah, they feel like they're going crazy because a lot of things are happening, internally. But really, the way that our mental health system has it, it's not really addressing things energetically. It's not really addressing the energetics and the metaphysical, aspects of what is happening to the human.
Right, because the conventional allopathic medicine is looking at a body as a physical system. It does not consider that body is a projection of consciousness,
right,
and that consciousness is really the construct, or consciousness is behind the construct of the universe, our bodies and everything else.
Yeah.
And so these shifts in our consciousness and coming to greater awareness in our consciousness is raising up issues that our linear minds have a hard time comprehending.
Yeah.
We don't have language or even abilities to fully describe what's going on. There is no point of even a reference for some of this. So how do we reconcile it? And some people truly have no point of reference, which makes them think, well, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my memories and all these different things.
Or whatever. They're seeing beings and they're like, oh my God, this being is coming to me. Or they're having out-of-body experiences, like they're like quantum jumping, too, into different timelines or whatever. Or they're receiving like messages, and who the heck knows? So many different things that could be happening. And it's because you're starting to experience your multidimensionality, okay? And so our freaking mental health system doesn't address any of this at all.
And then the only solution is obviously the pills, which attenuate us.
Okay, we'll just give you antidepressants.
Yes, right, exactly. Which will completely like obliterate joy from your life, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have deep
calcify
depressions,
your pineal gland too,
which is a side effect of that.
Yeah,
that is by design too. There is some that's not by accident. Right?
I just wish that it would be so cool for every person to see a galactic shaman instead. Wow, that would like change everything if everybody would go to like a galactic healer, instead of freaking going to, a 3D psychologist or a 3D psychiatrist. I'm not knocking you guys. I'm just saying.
Well, a lot of people don't know that these options exist.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you are a psychologist or a psychiatrist, like, I'm not knocking you at all because the system put you there. The system made you believe, that everything is in the mind.
And so-called science
and so
is the solution to all of these world's problems.
But in our system and the way allopathic medicine works, it doesn't address energetics and metaphysics at all. It doesn't address spirituality and consciousness.
Nope.
At all.
And that is basically the crux of it. That is the core of the problem. Nikola Tesla said, once we start taking consciousness seriously and involving consciousness in the science, we will advance in 1 decade more than we have so far in hundreds of years. And so that is the problem. And in the field of quantum physics, we cannot ignore consciousness because it's clear that mere observation of the experiment, the outcome is changed. So that is one field in science where we couldn't ignore it. But in all the other areas of science, we simply ignore consciousness because we don't know what to do with it and how to incorporate it in there. Or maybe there is a lack of desire to do that.
Now, the good thing is that because of what's going on the planet right now, people are starting to understand a lot more of the outward corruption, the outward manipulation that's happening. People are knowing like the news is not really reporting the news, right? People know that now.
Inversion of the reality.
People know that the jab is not really helping you at all, right? It's not. It's like altering your DNA. If people are starting to rise up and understand these external things, you know, people are now understanding like the separation movements like BLM and Asian hate kind of thing, you know, it's creating separation consciousness.
Even politics and religions, when you see, you know, what it does to humanity. I mean, it pits people one against each other, neighbors against each other, family members against each other. You know, I mean, that is like one of those like rules, like you don't bring up religion or politics into discussion because it's so contentious, right? And that's by design. That's to divide us. So like we should focus on those things that bring us together. We have so much in common as humanity, you know, all races, all aspects of humanity.
One family.
We're one soul family, the humanity family, right? And so there is so much that we have in common that, you know, skin color or, you know, shape of our head or whatever, or build have absolutely, there's so little difference between us.
And you guys, and we're moving towards becoming a cosmic family. We're going to be aware of our galactic brothers and sisters, and we're going to be more aware of ourselves as universal beings here, like connected to, you know, all of the other galactic races that are out there. They've just like kept us in a little box, and they like really hijacked us to think that aliens are bad,
and there are all this like negative narrative coming from Hollywood and other places,
alien
right?
Abductions and all these things, right? But for me, and I just can talk about my own personal experience with aliens, but I don't call them aliens. They're my star family. I call them my star family.
It is all our family.
Yeah, even the angels, like all these other dimensional, you know, higher dimensional. I just say higher in dimensions just because of the level of consciousness that they have. It's not that they're higher at all, because we're all the same. It's just their level of consciousness, and that's why I say higher dimensional.
Higher dimension is not necessarily better. It's just different level of perception and experience.
And consciousness. And so, like for me, the galactic beings are my family. I communicate with my galactic family every single day. I have an Arcturian mother, and she comes to me.
So do I.
And she helps me. We have to say actually Arcturian mother, and she comes to us during, you know, ceremonies. I have right now, like the Pleaidians. Oh, they're always coming in ceremony, and they're always coming and bringing their energy. They actually are. Ooh, I just got a little bit of wheezy there. They're actually. When Iggy and I do a ceremony, I see them, and they're there, and they're bowing down to us for doing this freaking work, you know, here on the planet, because they know this is not easy. It's not easy to come here and to be in this density. So for me, like I call them my guides, the angels, ascended masters, the galactic beings, the divine mothers. I mean, I just recently came into my the sisterhood of Lemuria, where the ancient mothers of Lemuria came to me in Mount Shasta, and they're now present in my field because they did give me part of why I'm here and my mission on the planet, to activate the waters of the planet and turn it more into crystalline, and to infuse it with the diamond light codes. And in doing that, it helps like shift the energy of the planet, and it actually helps to shift humans, because we're made up of water, you know, too, mostly water. So it's important to work on the waters of this planet. And so just things like that, like the other spaces for me, other dimensions and spaces are so much real, like how the 3D is real for everybody else. And so when we start to get attuned to all of that, okay, then you start to realize that you are a multi-dimensional being. Okay, and so we cannot realize those things when we have a lot of unhealed shit.
Absolutely. How are we going to join the galactic community where some of these galactic beings look so different from human form, right? Some of them look just like us, but there are others that may look like insectoids, or there may be looking more like animals on this planet, because like all of these species that are represented on this planet, they exist in other dimensions in different forms and in higher levels of consciousness. And so if we have this unhealed stuff that we can't even accept people of other race on this planet, how are we going to interact with galactic community that is so varied that you can't even imagine what exists out there? And so we need to, if you watch some of the, Star Wars or Star Trek, some of the beings that were over there, that's like a little bit of a representation. Some of disclosure actually happened through Star Trek. They were sharing some of these universal ideas and other beings that may exist out there, but they were mostly portraying humanoids. But, there are others that are non-humanoids, and so we need to be absolutely healed within our stuff. And,
so we don't have judgment.
Right. So judgment is going to be contraband that will not be allowed to enter fifth dimension, because that shit is going to be polluting that dimension. That's not going to be allowed. So if we have that unhealed, we will not be allowed to enter. We will need to check that out at the border, right? So, and so all of that contraband, whether it's self-judgment, whether it's expectations, right? Lack of self-love, and honoring divinity within yourself. So when we talk about self-love a lot, because we understand how important it is. And so, self-love is not about I'm better than somebody else. There is a big difference between, being able to see the areas that you desire to improve within yourself and not honoring your divinity.
It's not narcissistic. I mean,
no.
when you are in that space of honoring yourself and seeing yourself as the holy temple that you are, because you are a holy temple.
Well, not only that, but the source energy. You are fractal source energy that is existing partially
so you're
in
holy.
this dimension, in this body. Truly.
Say that I'm holy, and if
I'm divine.
Yeah, I'm a divine being, and I am holy. And when you come to that awareness of your existence in that way, oh man, you have so much reverence for your being, so much reverence for your being, that you will start to honor yourself and start to treat your own self in a different way. All the negative thoughts will start to stop.
That's when everything shifts, because that's when you start taking care of yourself better. Not just your physical body, but your emotional body, your spiritual practices, how you address others, because you also see others as a reflection of yourself. You see divinity in everybody within you. I love the words of Ram Dass, and I'm repeating myself with this, but look at everybody around you as God in drag, and that's really a funny way of looking at it, because we are all divine beings. We're just disguised in these meat suits, right?
We're all in drag.
We're all in drag.
All right.
So we all selected different costumes, but we're all fractal source energy here.
That's so funny. I love that.
So honor your magnificence, honor your divinity. This is who you are. And then through that lens, you start perceiving everything differently, and you choose to heal, you choose to release, and to remove all the tethers that hold you back from your magnificence.
And this is where right now it's so important to understand the divine feminine aspect of you, especially you men. You men, you gotta just light that up in the brain there to understand the divine feminine qualities that you hold, because we do have divine masculine, divine feminine aspects to us. Every human has that. And so we are here to really activate more of the divine feminine because everything's off balance. It's totally off balance right now. So when we start to align those energies together and activate more of the divine feminine energies, because it's very like male dominated in everything that we do, right? Male dominated in our society, male dominated in politics, male dominated in business. You know, all of it is so masculine. And even the way that we do things, we're like, even here, like in America, where you're like, go, 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 go. You have to achieve this. You have to
competition.
Da, da, da. It's like all this, like, you got to be the best. You have to, like, it's so you know, like that. So forceful. It's so forceful.
In your face.
In your face. And so when you start to align and come into more of your divine feminine aspects, which are nurturing, caring, having so much compassion, so much compassion, and activating that loving quality, you know, in everything that you do for yourself. First, it starts here for you. So all those negative things that you say to yourself, you know, but if you come at it with more of that divine feminine, like, okay, it's okay that I'm saying these things to myself. I recognize and I'm holding compassion for myself right now while I'm going through all of this.
But I choose not to be so harsh with myself.
Yeah,
I choose better for myself, because I wouldn't have this kind of conversation with my best friend. You know, I would not say these kinds of things to somebody I care about. So why do I say that to myself? I choose to change that narrative. And so that is, again, honoring and having reverence for the divinity within. So that doesn't mean that we stop working ourselves, that we don't see shortcomings within ourselves, and we accept. Well, so first step is the acceptance. I have these shortcomings. I know I can do better, and I choose to become better version of myself, but not knocking myself constantly, you know, and undermining myself, because that doesn't serve me. That doesn't help me to get where I want to be. Because if I have this constant narrative of I'm not good enough, how am I supposed to reach that higher level of myself? That is the problem. That is what is not serving us, that negativity, right? So once we focus and make a decision to choose better for ourselves and cut out that negative narrative, then we can focus on becoming better versions of ourselves.
This is what Javi said. Hi, Javi. Once I had a ceremony when the plant revealed to me that I was so focused on my feminine energy that I totally forgot all about my masculine energy. The warrior in me is roaring with unconditional love.
Yay.
Oh, man.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I love that, because that's exactly what happens is you start to foster more of the love energy that you have through the divine feminine energies within you. And you pull that down. It comes through you, through your energetic field, and even into your body.
But it is about restoring balance, because, you know, our higher self, our soul doesn't have a gender, right? So, you know, gender is aspect of the polarity in this incarnation. Two. And so, there it is. Duality, right?
Duality,
and so, so understand that we all embody both masculine and feminine, and the mastery really lies in creating that balance, or restoring rather the balance, because that's not our natural state. Before it was hijacked.
Totally. We're in a restoration project right now, you guys.
This is a rehabilitation project.
This is a rehabilitation project.
Of every single one of us.
Going on right now. Yeah, this is
humanity.
This is the Christos realignment restoration project going on right now. It's a freaking big project. And so, you know, Iggy and I are doing like our little part, whatever like that we can do to help humanity, to help, you know, people that are connected with us, whatever way, you know, we are here for that. We are very connected to the sacred plants. We hold the codes of sacred plants here on the planet, such as cacao and ayahuasca. Those codes are in us, and so we are so connected that, like, part of why we are here is to help people, you know, come back to themselves through the sacred plants on the planet. And so we, you know, really, if you feel the calling to the sacred plants, just like how we did, you know, I invite you to explore that option, you know, of healing. So Iggy and I do our retreats in Mount Shasta in Costa Rica because we do feel this need, you know, for humanity to shift in a way where, like, you don't need therapy for 10 or 15 years. Like, that shit is done. That is like old school way. And even doing shadow work, like, what the, you know, like, we don't need to do that, you know, anymore. Like, yes, be aware of the shadows and everything. And I'm talking about, like, shadow work in the old way that it's being done, where you have to move through all of this bullshit stuff and, like, relive everything. No, you don't have to do that. The way that we hold ceremony, especially now in the last year, the way that we have learned is, like, you can really heal through your stuff, through joy, through fun, right? Through laughter.
But that is a choice as well.
That is a choice.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
You can choose that. And so we are not discounting other healing modalities, but we know how much plant medicine has helped us and those that we have helped who have completely shifted their life in a positive sense. So again, it's about restoration and rehabilitation of our Christos mission here on the planet, and healing as much as we can, because and again, we notice that there is much less men present in our ceremonies, whether it's cacao ceremonies or retreats. And we know that divine masculine has been so hijacked, and many men have a hard time being vulnerable, being open, or even to, like, talk about healing, to even admit to themselves that they are unwell. And so this hijacked masculinity, that has been so off track, and is in denial, that's a contraband that will not be allowed in 5D as well. Right. So it would serve men in this now moment to really partake in healing.
Oh yeah.
And utilize whatever methodology resonates with you. That is my recommendation, or our recommendation for everybody to heal, but particularly men. I think women are further along in this because they're a lot more open. Divine Feminine has been holding more than their share, and they're helping humanity and Divine Masculine to heal. Yeah. But it really, this is call to action for all the men out there to step up your game. You know,
we're calling you guys out.
We are dragging our feet.
Yeah,
you know,
calling you guys out.
So let's do our part. You know, Divine Feminine needs us, and humanity needs us. We need to do our share so we can come into this realignment and into this balance.
Yeah, and so I like that you said that, Iggy, but that was really, really good, because, you know, we do see, like, just for us in our ceremonies, more women, you know, coming, and then, like, I always get overjoyed when somebody comes that's a male. I was like, yes!
We always cheer them on.
Represent! like coming to a ceremony, like, whoa. And we do have a lot of people who come to our cacao ceremonies, like, that are men that have never done anything like that before. So shout out to those men who have come to our ceremonies, because, like, we bow down to you, because we know it's not easy to be in a place where you're, like, it's so unfamiliar, and you're like called to be vulnerable, and it's hard sometimes to be in that space of vulnerability. But vulnerability is your superpower. I want you to know that, okay? Every person, not just men, but females, like vulnerability is our superpower. Okay, the more that we as humans like share and are so real and true and authentic, then you find that sacred connection with other beings. Like it just like the earlier in this video when I talked to you guys about losing my child. Okay, that was very real. That happened to me. That was like, whoo, a hard, thing that happened in my life that, I don't wish that upon anybody, but like it was very hard to lose a child like that. But I can talk about it now because it was a catalyst to my awakening. And so that was me being vulnerable and sharing my personal experience of my own, my own trauma that happened to me, and then how it moved me into a different direction. And so everybody's going to have their own stuff. Everybody's going to have their own personal issues. You came here, your soul actually decided, you chose your parents, and you decided like how you wanted to, exist here in this world even before you came in, and the lessons that you were going to learn and the soul contracts that you were going to have over here. And we feel that those that are awakening right now you guys are the ones that are the front runners. You guys are the ones that are the way showers. You are
pioneers.
Here, yeah, the pioneers to like steward this light, that you hold inside, and to hold this light as you start to embody more light here on the planet, because the rest of humanity is going to start to wake up, and they're going to need you.
This is the new frontier for this planet, and it starts with you. And as Stage you said, it's absolutely right. You are your biggest and greatest project. So focus on yourself. You cannot run away from yourself.
Right.
And you're not going to fix yourself all by yourself. You need to have a decision, right? It's not going to happen by itself. So you need to make a decision and take steps, take inspired actions,
right,
in order to heal and to release all those things that are no longer serving you. And nobody else can make the decision but you. You hold the key to that, because you as sovereign being needs to decide what is it that you desire for yourself. And that is nobody else's business, not even your spouse's business, but yours, because you are sovereign being. Who do you choose to be? And then take the inspired action and steps to go after that vision, after that goal.
And so, for us, because we are aligned with like helping and being of service to humanity, being of service to the light, being of service to the one source, God, that, we are, Iggy and I are in alignment to help people heal their stuff and help awaken people to, certain information and knowledge of the hijacking and all of that, like, all of the dark stuff too. And helping you understand your light, and helping you know and experience your own power. And so we teach different kinds of things and energy techniques, and we hold these ceremonies to help you. And we work with our higher dimensional team of light, our star family, our guides, our guardians. And we work with them because we don't feel in separation, with them at all. They're like, as if I was talking to you, they're like here.
And those are aspects, higher dimensional aspects of ourselves as well.
And so we work with all of them to help, in this journey that we're all on right now. If you guys have any questions in regards to that, we'll make a different video about
Well,
that.
maybe we can also mention that we have created this new community.
Oh my God, yes, let's talk about that. Oh man. Okay, so I'm so excited because I was told a few months ago that, okay, I always knew from 5 years ago when I did ayahuasca, I was shown this vision of creating a retreat center, a healing center in Costa Rica. And because the Pleaidians were showing it to me and helping me build this thing. And I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know when this is going to be birthed, but whatever, the divine timing is going to happen. And then a few months ago, they also told me that you are going to create communities of light. And I'm like, damn, that's a big project to create communities of light, meaning communities where like-minded souls with the same energetic frequency will be living together, and we will be, growing our own food, living off the grid, totally stewarding the land that we're on, and doing our light work and holding ceremonies and all of that. And they showed me this giant fountain, and I saw this kind of this pathway going into this space, and I saw this gate sort of made out of, I don't know what it was made out of, but it's made out of something, but I saw living in communities of light. And they told me before this is birth, these communities of light, we want you to start an online community. So here we are, we birthed Living in Om Community.com, and you guys can all join livinginomcommunity.com.
It's free to join.
It's free, and this is a place where nobody can be censored because our community.
There are no ads.
Yeah, there's no ads or anything like that.
Facebook.
Yeah, I have been censored many times. I've been fact checked. I've been in Facebook jail. And all of that for the things that I wanted to share, on social media. And so this is a place now, livinginomcommunity.com, where you can go, and we put a lot of information here in the community that you can explore. If you want to learn about plant medicines, it's divided in topics where you can go in and see, if you want to learn about ayahuasca or hape or cacao or whatever. If you want to learn about that, if you want to learn more about ascension, then we have information about ascension, in there. We have all of our cacao and conscious conversations, in there too. So it's actually a community that for me, I hold very dear and feel a sacredness and a reverence that I can put forth. Again, I can put forth our energy there and hold everybody with so much love. And so we invite you to join the Living in Om community and totally engage there and connect with other souls that are have the same energetic, frequency, that are truth seekers, that want to heal, that people that are expanding, star seeds, all of that too. So we invite you to come.
It's a place where we can share ideas, where we can have discussions without censorship.
Yeah.
And so yes, we will moderate it. We will we will choose what we add to it based on what resonates with us. And we hope that it resonates with you as well. We understand that not everything that resonates with us will resonate with everybody who joins, but that's okay. We're not asking you to believe in everything that we are sharing or that everything resonates with you. Take from that whatever resonates with you, and whatever doesn't, just ignore that.
Yeah, just let it, let it pass you. But we desire to share knowledge that we know, the wisdom that we came upon, the information that has come to us many different ways. It could come to us from different people or channeled
Books,
information.
yep.
Channeled information. And so for this community, only in this community, I'm going to start to do light language transmissions in this community. And so because I feel more safe doing that than out here in Facebook or Instagram, land. Because it's just like subject to getting hijacked or people, saying shit to you. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't desire that. So in the community, I will.
It's a safe place.
Yeah, I feel more safe and sacred. And so I will start to do transmissions in there and also channelings in there and start to share, more of what comes to me, because there's so many things that come to me on a daily basis, you guys. It's a lot sometimes. And so and I don't really share them on social media, but here in the Living in Om community, I'm gonna start to share a lot more. And so if this resonates with you, then we invite you to livinginomcommunity.com, and we have a 21-day cacao self-love journey if you want to join that, because we'd like for everybody to drink cacao for at least 21 days and go on this beautiful self-love journey to really understand yourself and open up to the vastness of love, that you really are. So we invite you there. We were going to put all of our events on there. We're going to put all of our retreats on there. If you have any questions about any of the retreats we have coming up, and I was even downloaded yesterday or given a message yesterday to do a retreat in Sedona, next year. So we're going to have Costa Rica in June. We're going to have our Mount Shasta retreat in July and August. And then in the fall of next year, we're going to do a retreat in Sedona. So many exciting things, and we are also going to put out other things. There's so much that Iggy and
We're developing courses.
Yeah, that there's so much we want to share with everyone, and so many different activations and things like that. I've been told by the Ancient Mothers of Lemuria, things to put out. And so we're going to start actually doing that, and we're going to do it through the community. So we hope you guys join us and really be in this sacred space where we're going to hold you with a lot of light and a lot of love. Mm-hmm. Right? So we just want to just say
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, and also to celebrate on this Pleaides gateway right now. This is just an alignment right now that I feel. For me, Z said it feels like Christmas for her. And I told her it feels like a birthday party, going on inside my body. And it really does feel like a celebration. I don't know. That's just the feeling that I'm getting inside of me right now during this gateway. So
we're definitely feeling awesome.
Yeah, we're feeling so good after drinking cacao.
Which I like to call a malarkey repellent.
If you want to clear all the malarkey from your energy field,
work with cacao. Ceremonial cacao.
Work with ceremonial cacao. And we do have ceremonial cacao from Guatemala. If you guys desire this sacred cacao that we source from a Mayan tribe in Guatemala, just reach out to us, and we have those available for everyone. So we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
so much for being on this planet and bringing in your heart, bringing in your love. We know that you're here to help change the world just like we are, and that you're here for all of this. You're here for this transition into new earth frequency. We know that you're here for the ascension journey on the planet, and we're so very, very humbled and grateful to be here with all of you.
So connect with your hearts and unleash your badassery.
Yeah, do that.
Namaste.
Namaste, you guys. We love you. We'll see you again next Friday. Next Friday. Love you.
Ciao.